Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's happening in the collective energy, the energy that is impacting each and every one of us, the energy that each and every one of us is feeling, and what you need to know about it so that you can make the most of it, so that you can capitalize on the energy that we have going on, and so that you can maybe understand yourself, what's happening in your life, what you're feeling a little bit better. So we're going to talk about the messages that I had come through, what I'm noticing in this energy, and then we're going to build on that with some giant tarot cards and create a full picture of the messages for the week. As always, I recommend that you stick around to the end, that you get the messages. I think that the tarot part, the way that it builds on the other messages, is the best part. So I would love to have you stick around. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not watching this on my YouTube channel, please swing by and get yourself subscribed. It always helps to support the channel. You can support me. Thank you guys so much, by the way. You've been so supportive. So thank you for liking these videos, sharing these videos, commenting. You guys have been rock stars with that lately, and I'm so thankful for it. It's really been helping, and I think that it's helping to connect with other people who really need to hear this stuff, because so many of you are feeling these energies and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know what's going on. So let's get into it. How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? Have you noticed that we are now officially in Mercury retrograde? How's that feeling for you? I got one text today and was like, is it Mercury retrograde? Because I have all of these things that are problematic. Because a lot of times when we think about Mercury retrograde, which is a 3-week period of time where Mercury is appearing to go backwards. And so this can tend to be, or is often seen as, a more challenging time period where things just kind of seem like they're going wrong, where you want to give yourself extra time for everything, leave the house a little bit earlier, no matter where it is that you're trying to go, because expect the unexpected, expect that things will go wrong. It can tend to be a time when a lot of our past stuff comes to the surface that we have to deal with it. It can be a time where communication is challenging with other people. But like everything, every energy has a benefit to it. And I think that this is always an opportunity for us to see what our leftovers are, what we still are working on, what we still need to be working on. Let it show you through by what's coming to the surface, where we are, and what it is that we have left to do here. So it shows us our work. It shows us what's going on. I often find too that people from the past tend to kind of surface during this time. So be aware of that, because I think that especially here during this retrograde, this is, you want to like take the lessons from it or take the opportunity for the closure from it. But this is not an energy where we want to be going backwards, even though Mercury is literally going backwards, right? This is not an energy for that. This is an energy for learning from the past, for looking at that and recognizing, you know what, I don't like the way that I did that, handled that went down, and letting ourselves move forward from the past, release the past. I think there's a lot of opportunities here in these next few weeks to release the past, to let go of it. And if you catch yourself feeling like you're wanting to go backward with something, I feel like it's really important for most people, and this is a collective reading, right? This isn't a personal reading. So you have to use your discernment and listen to what feels right for you. But overall, I don't recommend going backwards with things right here. Instead, it's like the purpose is, I always find there's like a theme with Mercury retrograde. And to me, the theme this time around is for us to learn from the past, but live for the present. It's a time when we're going within, we're learning about ourselves, we're listening to ourselves. So let yourself rest a little bit more. You're going to be a little bit more tired. You're going to be a little bit more reflective. We have some other planets in retrograde too, and some other stuff going on. So let the process, but don't let it get you. Don't let it catch you in the past, in a situation that you've already worked through, that you already have moved from, but you maybe have something from the past coming up because it's an opportunity to heal it, clear it, and move forward. So that's one of the pitfalls that I'm seeing in this energy. And I think that it's important to acknowledge. Hi, Lynette. Nice to see you here. So we want to let the past be the past. Last Tuesday, I talked all about how we had Pluto shift into Aquarius and what a big deal this is. I'm curious, like, how you guys are experiencing this. This is an entirely new era. And while I expected it would feel pretty great and that it would feel like a new era, for me personally, I feel like a different person. And it's hard for me to even explain. It's like there was some kind of a veil, a film over me that was filtering my senses. And now everything feels wide open. My heart feels wide open. I just feel so open to receive. And I like, you might notice right now you're more sensitive to people, places, and things, which if you're not used to that, that can feel like a lot. If you're an empath like me, that can feel like a lot, but I've done a lot of work on filtering my own energy. So I'm not necessarily getting hit with the overwhelmment of that, but I see a lot of people are. A lot of people are having a tough time with that. Hey, sis. Hey, Carlos. So what I'm finding in this energy is that it seems to be very different for each person. And there isn't necessarily this collective shift, but I'm noticing for some people that senses are definitely heightened. So this is even meaning like our senses, like I've noticed I'm more sensitive to sound, but also at the same time finding myself more focused with things. I feel like I'm looking at the world through new eyes. So it's like the colors seem brighter. Everything seems more beautiful. I don't know. I'm trying not to be annoying with this because like I have been almost downright euphoric. And I don't even really know why, except for I know that there's massive shift. And I think that a lot of us have really shifted into a higher timeline. A lot of shifts are happening in this new era. And so I feel I was talking with somebody in a session earlier today, and he used the word fresh. It all feels very fresh. And I think that's perfect, right? It does. It feels new. It feels fresh. And I think that we have this new appreciation, these fresh eyes, this fresh experience. If we're choosing to lean into it, we can stay stuck in our old stuff, but that's going to prevent us from fully experiencing the now of what we have happening, because there are beautiful, beautiful things happening. This is an amazing energetic shift. And so if we start to say, you know what, let me just focus on the present, you're going to start to see some of the stuff and experience some of the stuff. I've been saying this to everybody, but like every meal that I have had since last Tuesday has been the best meal I've ever had. Not because the food is different, but because I am more aware of all of my senses. And so if our senses are more heightened, then our intuitive senses are more heightened. You're going to be more sensitive to energy. You're going to feel more sensitive to spaces. I've had some people say to me, it's been really hard for me to go into places that I typically go, because you're processing a lot of energy. Give yourself a little time to catch up and manage that. I do recommend doing like that bubble of light around yourself. I can share my daily meditation for that here in the comments. That's really helpful. Remind me if I forget and you're wanting that, but that can be really helpful for just like filtering your energy so that you're not feeling so vulnerable and open. It'll filter that out a little bit so that you're not taking on the heaviness, which can be really, really helpful. And I love that. I think that gives us the ability to be in charge of our energy versus feeling like our energy is constantly being influenced by the world around us and us not being able to do a damn thing, right? That's where your power is in knowing how to manage and navigate your energy field. And so that's why I make these videos, in part so that you understand what that's about. And everything that I do is about helping people to master their unique energy field so that they can show up as the best version of themselves here in this world. So that's it's a powerful thing. And so if we can allow ourselves to really lean into this new era, and we can focus on where we're going and take the lessons from the past that we've learned, right? This is like gold, the stuff that we've learned. This is important. And you might be reminded of the lessons that you've learned during this Mercury retrograde. Probably you will be. And it may not be pleasant, right? You'll be like, oh shit, here I am again experiencing this, right? But like, instead of letting it bring you down into something that's not helpful, learn from it. Use it and say, I'm applying this into my future. And I want you to keep in mind that what you created before this, so sorry, I have a little bit of a tickly throat right now. What you created before this, what you created from a version of yourself that you no longer are, is going to fall away. Let it fall away. Don't fight it. Don't try to hold on to it. Don't try to control it. Let that go. Let it go. Let it be released. Carlos is saying what his experience is. So let's see, sis, what you got? Once you finally create those boundaries within yourself and choose self-love and peace and let go of the baggage, a lift happens. I agree. And I'm feeling that so much. And I think so many of us are. Awareness heightens. And it can be scary at first. It can be overwhelming because we're not used to it. It's like, again, it's fresh, it's new, and we have to adapt to it. So I think also people are feeling, in some cases, more emotional in this energy for some. And I think that's coming with this heightened sensitivity. And so it's okay. I feel like I just need to say it. Like, it's okay for us to feel emotional. It's like that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm feeling emotions, like all of them, significantly. I watched on Netflix, because I really love cheesy, corny Christmas movies. So I watched Hot Frosty for anybody who is looking for a cheesy Christmas movie. I definitely recommend that one. It's so corny and I love it. I cried during Hot Frosty, even, because I'm just like feeling everything. I mean, that's not unlike me, but I just was like laughing to myself about that a little bit because like of the level of cheesiness. But it's a perfect example that we're feeling it all a lot and significantly. And so it's okay for you to feel emotions, even the uncomfortable ones. We don't want to avoid those. We want to visit those. We want to let them teach us about ourselves and where we're at and what we have going on. And we don't have to run from them. And it doesn't have to be something where we tack a label on it that says, oh, this is bad. It might be uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be bad. And I think sometimes it's just things that are needing to be released. And sometimes it's things that we're needing to understand or that we've not been listening to within ourselves. And so those emotions come up and it forces us to take a look. Where do I need to make a change? What do I need to be doing differently? What am I trying to incorporate into my life that I created from a past version of myself that no longer exists? And if we are ignoring that, that gets louder. It's going to get more uncomfortable. And so it's a good question to ask yourself, if you're feeling a lot of emotion, what is this about? What is this teaching me? What is this telling me? What do I need to understand? Rather than trying to numb it, trying to ignore it, it's a system for understanding ourselves, our path, our journey, and where we're going and where we need to make changes. And so let it show you. And that's going to allow some of that to pass. You can also take, I have a friend who took some of the situations that she had coming up and the intense emotions she was feeling this week, and she did something really, really cool with it. So you can alchemize it too, right? Have you ever created something really incredible from pain? People do it all the time. So if you're stuck in that place, what can you alchemize it into? What can you use it? I've said to people so many times today in my sessions, you're going to take this and you're going to turn it into something incredible, because this is where we are, right? I think right now in this energy, this is about us being more purposeful, using what we have, what we've experienced, what we're now understanding, and using it to help ourselves, using it to create something great, and using it to help other people from. It's part of why we experience it in the first place, which is that's a really beautiful thing. And doesn't it help to think about all of the struggles that we've been through and how it can create something really incredible for ourselves, but for other people. And so I think that that's important. Another thing I've noticed about myself, and I think that this is available to all of us, 'tis the season for gratitude, right? It's Thanksgiving week here in America. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you, by the way. It's the season for that. But I don't think that that's why I'm feeling this so strongly. But I made a post today about gratitude because I just, again, it's that heightened emotion, that heightened everything. I just feel gratitude on a whole other level. And just this awareness is looking around at life and recognizing what I already have. And if you're not experiencing that organically, this is a process that you can facilitate, that you can intentionally participate in. And I know, like, basic idea, right? But gratitude is so powerful. And with the slightest shift in our perspective, we can start to see the world differently. We can start to experience the world differently. And I've had that happen so many times, like, in just this intense, insane gratitude for what past Christy might have thought is the smallest thing. And it's not like these massive, drastic, insane changes that are happening, but I'm experiencing it all so differently. And can we choose to experience it differently? Can we choose to, every day when we wake up, say, I'm going to have an incredible day today? Are you going to have an incredible day every day? Probably not, but can you set the intention? Because does that set you up for more success to begin with? Can you choose throughout your day to just, when you catch yourself feeling even a tiny bit grateful, hold that feeling and extend it for longer? I think that that's so powerful. Jessica's saying, put life into perspective with gratitude, counting the blessings you have, even simple gratitudes, the air I breathe, waking up today. Exactly. There's so much. There's so much. And, like, by the way, if you're paying attention, this world is so incredibly magical. There's so much that's being orchestrated for you. There's so much that you are supported with, if you can pay attention, but you have to choose to pay attention. And if we're so caught in what we don't have, or what we're worried about, or the direction that we think even something could possibly go in, we're going to miss out on the blessings of now. So we don't want to be too caught in the past. We don't want to be too caught in the future, worrying about the future and where the future is going to go. We want to be living for the present. Embracing the present. I feel, even just now making this video, like, so much gratitude for all of you, so much gratitude to get to do this, to be able to connect in these ways. And I feel it all. And so I'm going to just hold that feeling a little bit longer, because when we create our life from that energy, magic happens. I'm telling you right now, I'm claiming it. I'm calling it. Some really magical shit is about to happen to me. I can feel it. I know it. And I'm holding this energy, and it's all like, it's a really beautiful thing. So the present, it's about finding the magic in the present moment in your life now. Tell me in the comments something magical today. in your life, something magical that you have now. And some days, like, it's hard, right? I understand people are genuinely struggling, and that's true also. But I think the pathway to moving from that is to find these moments of gratitude and to hold on to those. And again, 'tis the season for that. And can we use these heightened senses, this heightened emotion, to help us to tune in like a radio dial to the good stuff, to the gratitude, to the joy, to the peace, to the things that we want to be feeling. But we have to look for it. We have to like turn the dial. We have to start to look for those things. We have to start to feel into those things. And as you do, you'll find it. You'll find joy just as easily as you'll find fear. You'll find peace just as easily as you'll find fear. It's that openness and that willingness to open to the energy. So I think that that's a really powerful thing. So I don't think that Mercury retrograde has to be this thing that we dread. What if this is the Mercury retrograde, that you fucking kill it, that you just make your way through this in such a way that you're like, I've mastered Mercury retrograde. I learned the lessons. I did the things. I let myself be led. I let myself flow. I found the anchoring gratitude through this. My gratitude anchored me as I navigated my way through. I learned a hell of a lot about myself. I healed a lot of things from the past. I learned from the past, and I learned how to be present in the future. So I think that this is like where we're going. We didn't even get into the cards yet. Geez, sorry. I'm just on a flow today. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I like it. Whatever it is, I like it. So what's this been like for you guys? We've had the Tower card 2 weeks in a row. Definitely a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of, I think a lot of those Tower moments are just like old versions of ourselves that we're letting go. Parts of ourselves that wanted certain things, and we're recognizing now, like, I don't even want that anymore. I said in my post that I've been talking a lot about truth and how we're connecting with important truths. And I think one of the most important truths that we are finding ourselves connecting with is that we already have it pretty damn good. And that we are surrounded by blessings if we're looking, and to just kind of consciously choose to do that can change your life, can change your experience in an instant. That's the cool thing. That's like what's so magical. Whew, this is a very open reading. I feel it. Can you guys feel that? Definitely heightened emotions, definitely feeling this stuff, but we'll talk about this. So keep that in mind too. Like, a lot of you are getting ready to go into Thanksgiving with people, and your emotions are heightened. Or maybe, like you're going into your first Thanksgiving on the other side of a loss or something. And so your emotions are very heightened through that, just naturally, and then through this energy too. So be gentle. We're more open right now. Be gentle with yourself and think about that, and do my bubble of light meditation before you go into those situations. But also keep in mind, like, it's okay for you to take care of yourself in that, to take a break, to take a minute, to make a change, to ask for help. I've been talking a lot about asking for help lately, to allow help. It's okay. Oh my gosh, this is such cool energy. All right, let's see. One more card and then we'll be ready. Yeah, Renee says I've been empathing a lot of people. I love that you made it a verb. Very emotional. Cry watching beautiful things, like songs. Yeah, oh my God. I cry, like, guys, I cry like daily just with joy. It's why, and I'm kind of like that anyway. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that's a little bit my vibe, but it's definitely extra right now. It's definitely extra. First card, speaking of that, Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is empathing. The Queen of Cups is emotional, but she also has boundaries. And she recognizes where she has to have boundaries to be okay, because we have these wide open hearts. We're feeling so much. We're connecting so much. And this is a time in our lives where we're meant to connect with people on a grander level, to be more open, to be more vulnerable, to put yourself out there. And I feel like this is saying, like, put yourself out there. And so be willing to do that, but also know that you have the power of your boundaries to set them anytime that you need them to help yourself. You have the power to just take a little break if you need to from something. You have the power, if you need to take care of you. And the Queen of Cups to me is like the queen of self-care and nurturing herself. She's so nurturing. And so we're nurturing one another, but can we nurture ourselves as well here in this energy? To me, this is just like that validation. Yes, we are feeling things in a very heightened way. We're very intuitive. She's very intuitive. Immediately followed by the most intuitive card in the deck, the High Priestess. Again, that's that intuitive flow, that intuitive connection. We're connecting on a deeper level with our gifts. We're connecting on a deeper level with each other, with feeling into things, feeling more. Pay attention. How are you responding to the world around you? Does it feel a little bit different? And again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. We'll get used to it. This is like about unlocking all of our superpowers that we've had buried for a very long time. That is the age of Aquarius. And so this is taking us into it. This is carrying us into it. We can't do that with a closed third eye and a closed heart. No way. No way. This is like bringing us to that place where we are open and we are ready and humanity can come together. So be open. And I feel like listen to your intuition, trust your intuition, honor your intuition. You're feeling it and you know it. I can't tell you how many times people share things with me and I'm like, yeah. And like they're wanting that validation, but it's like, you already know. You already have it. Jessica's saying superpowers. Okay, let's go. Heck yeah. Like we've been waiting for this. This is what we came here for. This is good stuff. But know that you might feel like it's new and fresh and you're like a newborn baby kind of having to learn everything again and adjust to everything because it is a lot. The next card is Cups too, right? That's heart, that's intuition, that's feeling into things. It's very heart-centered. And this in particular is the Three of Cups. I think that if as we lean into this, we're in Sagittarius season now too, right? Sagittarius knows how to live life. They know how to live if they are in their light aspects. They know how to adventure. They know how to do life on their terms. And I love that for them, right? And they know how to celebrate. That's what, like, Sagittarius season is a celebration. And so can we lean into the celebrations? You know how I was saying, like, we can choose the energies that we're connecting to. So for example, if we're going into a Thanksgiving situation where we're dreading it, can we look for the gifts? Can we look for the blessings? Can we find the people that we do want to connect with? Can we enjoy their energy? You never know. Life can change in the drop of a dime. Is that even an expression? I don't know. But celebrate yourself, celebrate each other. I feel like participate in celebrations, enjoy life, live your life. If you're waiting on something or you're letting something hold you back from living, now is the time to live your life. In fact, even though we are in Mercury retrograde, we got the Hermit in reverse. It's time to come out of hiding. It's time to get out there. It's time to stop not living your life in some way, shape, or form because you're being influenced by the past. You're holding on to something that isn't going to happen or hasn't happened yet, or that your ego is waiting on, when God is like, I've got all of these blessings trying to come your way, but you have to be open. Can we be open to that? This isn't a time to protect yourself. This is a time to be vulnerable and open, but you can filter your energy like we talked about. Six of Swords. We're moving into better times, but you can kind of get the vibe here, like this woman and her child, like this willingness to get into the boat, right? Like part of the story of this card is she's lost everything. And this is like her final act of trust. She has to trust this boatman to get her. I don't think she even knows where she's going, but to get her where she's supposed to go. And so in this final act of trust, even though she's been absolutely destroyed by the experiences that she's had, she has to open her heart and her willingness to trust one last time. That's the energy that I get with this. One last time. This willingness to do that and to see where it leads. So maybe this is about, I feel like this is our relationship with our higher power specifically. Trusting God to lead us, being open to that, even if it's been painful, even if it's been hurtful. I just in my session today, a situation that had happened to this person a month ago, where she was like, oh my God, like, why did that have to happen to me? That was awful. She already knows why. She already had the understanding with the perspective in this last month. She now understands why. It was like crystal clear to her that he was preparing her for something else. So trusting in it all, that we're being prepared, that we're being supported, that we're being led, and a willingness to be led where we're meant to go. Even if our ego wants to hold on to the past, wants to hold on to like what we believe is best for us. Instead, can we lean into what is actually best for us, what we're being shown is best for us? Four of Cups. I think this is all about being willing to see the blessings that are all around you. Right? To not be so caught up in despair, the past, what didn't work out, what hasn't gone the way we expected, that we're missing out on what wants to come, what wants to be here, what wants to present itself. I think that we're on the brink of a lot of blessings coming into our experience, but we have to be willing. If you choose to stay on the old timeline that you've been experiencing in your old life, that's fine. You can do that. But the new blessings aren't going to come in. So this is that leap of faith, that willingness to get into the boat and to move into something different. To let God, the universe, the divine source, whatever that is for you, lead us where we're meant to be. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If these messages resonate with you, please share it. Please let me know. Thank you so much for being here and present and commenting live. I'd love to hear from you, even if you're watching the replay. Pat's saying she can feel my energy. Yeah, it's like, whew, it's big. I know. I love it. I'm loving it. So lean into all of this. Share this with somebody that you think needs to hear this and understand this, because I think there's a lot of shifting and a lot of people feeling a lot of different things right now. And so I would love for people to have a better sense of what's going on and to connect with these messages. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're watching this on my YouTube, please do that. If you're watching this replay on my YouTube, also, I will put the link below for you to follow my Facebook in case you want to catch me live. I was going live in both places at the same time, but I don't know, like the views went way down. So we're trying to just like post this up now and see how that goes. So we'll play around with it a little bit. We'll see where that lands, but I'm just letting myself be led and shown too. All right, guys, take care. I will see you soon with another video. If I'm not here tomorrow with a live, happy Thanksgiving. I love you all. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you. It's just been such an incredible ride so far, and I'm excited to see where things are going for all of us. All right, guys, take care.